Bienvenidos, bienvenidos todos a Colombia. Qué placer poder conectarnos el día de hoy gracias a la magia de la tecnología. Hoy tenemos una invitada muy especial, Mireille Berggraf. Ahora ella nos va a decir later on, Mireille nos dirá cómo podemos pronunciar mejor su nombre. Thank you so much for joining us today. Descubre el poder del coaching mindset. Por eso estamos hoy reunidos acá. Conoce la fuerza visionaria detrás del desarrollo de Dutch Leadership Development, la organización que representa Mireille. Mireille es fundadora y directora de Desde, una plataforma de entrenamiento que integra la espiritualidad y el desarrollo profesional. Cree que la espiritualidad es una herramienta poderosa para mejorar el rendimiento, el liderazgo y el bienestar. Desde esa perspectiva espiritual, ofrece servicios de coaching, formación y tutoría a clientes de diversos orígenes e industrias. Mireille tiene más de 20 años de experiencia en negocios, trabajando en diversos campos como la reestructuración de empresas, la gobernanza corporativa y la gestión de cambios y riesgos. Utiliza su experiencia y sus conocimientos para hacer coaching a profesionales de todo el mundo sobre cómo superar barreras y retos internos, mejorar sus habilidades y encontrar su propósito. Está certificada como Clear Beliefs Coach y ICF. Ella está comprometida a ayudar a otros a descubrir su verdadero potencial y vivir una vida satisfactoria. Santiago, muchísimas gracias por hacer posible que conozcamos hoy a Mireille y que la tengamos en Colombia. Santiago Barragán es nuestro director de educación y va a contarnos mucho más de Mireille, la va a presentar y nos va a estar asistiendo. Espera un momento, que aquí está Santi. Perdón, Santi, no había leído tu mensaje. Santi, entonces te dejo a cargo de la presentación de Mireille. Acabo de leer el perfil profesional que nos habías compartido en el chat de miembros de ICF Colombia. El escenario es tuyo. Thank you so much again.
Gracias,
Mireille.
Betsy. ¿Me puedes hacer co-host, por favor? Solo para poder presentar la presentación de Mireille.
Listo.
Gracias. So we have a couple of people outside of Colombia, and some more will be joining. We'll just keep our mics and cameras off during the presentation, and we'll do a Q&A session at the end. Para todos los de Colombia y de las personas que nos vayan acompañando, vamos a dejar los micrófonos apagados y al final de la presentación vamos a hacer un espacio de preguntas y respuestas. Mireille, I'm gonna put the presentation and you are welcome to start. More people will be joining in the upcoming minutes.
Okay. You can all hear me, right, Santi?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Santi, and also thank you, Betsy, for inviting me. Today, we will delve into recognize your own mindset. We will then see how important it is to know what your mindset is. And we will also see what other practices and strategies you can use to cultivate a coaching mindset. We have 45 minutes, and after these 45 minutes, we have 15 minutes for questions and answer. Betsy already introduced myself, so Santi, we can skip those. Yes, we can skip this one as well, and go to to the slide. What does mindset mean? You know, like as coaches, we use the word mindset all the time. And the thing is that what is mindset actually? It is the way we habitually think. And the question is, why is it so important for us coaches to understand what mindset we have, right? We have people who have a positive mindset. You know, they are usually they are positive, they think positive, they act positive. And when people have a positive mindset, they think positive, we call that a growth or a winner mindset, right? These are people that have a natural tendency when something happens to seek for solutions and to not look at not looking at blaming others. And then we have people who have a negative mindset, which we call a victim mindset or a fixed mindset. And the thing is, it's important as coach to know what is your mindset. For example, if I look at myself, I know that I have a negative mindset, right? And I will share with you why. Every time my mom calls me, you know, I live in Suriname, but I also live in the Netherlands. I go back and forth. Whenever I'm in Suriname, my mom gives me a call. Every time she calls me, the first thing that comes to my mind is, oh, what's wrong? Or what's happening, right? So that shows me, when I started with coaching, that wow, I have a natural tendency into negative thoughts popping up whenever something happens. So over the years, of course, I've learned how to let go of these negative thoughts, and I've learned how to replace these negative thoughts with positive thoughts. So I'm growing in mindset. So the thing is, it's important to understand, how are you naturally wired? Do you have a natural tendency towards being positive, or do you have a natural tendency towards being negative? Because of course, at times you will be positive, at times you will be negative, but the most important thing is to understand dominantly, what am I? Am I positive or am I negative? And why is it important to know this? Santi, if you can go to the next slide, please. Yes, thank you. You know, people, can you go, yeah, to this slide, yeah? You have this principle above or below the line is a principle that is a success principles for people. You can also use it in the business. People who are below the line tend to blame, have excuses, or in denial. So at the core of blaming is shifting responsibility away from yourself. You shift the responsibility to somebody else. And at times when we have excuses, we have to understand that an excuse is just another reason not to do something. Now, how do excuses sound? I didn't read the email. I was too late because of traffic. It's too hot. It's too cold. Do I really have to do this? As coaches, we also have lots of excuses, right? If I take a look at myself, I'm always somebody who at the last minute, I will book some training to get my continuing coaching education points, right? So it's you know, having excuses is having a victim's mindset, is having a fixed mindset, is not taking responsibility for something that happens. And when we are in denial, we are doing exactly the same thing. We are fixed in our mindset. Why? Because we refuse to acknowledge or to accept a certain truth or a certain fact, right? So if you're in denial, it's sorts of a defense mechanism that help us to cope with uncomfortable situations. You know, when we are below the line, we get angry, we gossip, we are lazy, we procrastinate. You know, these are all character traits if you are below the line. Now, if you are above the line, you take responsibility for whatever situation, for whatever the situation is, right? And, you know, I know that when I coach people, or when I'm in training, or I do mentor coaching with coaches, you know, people will tell me like, you know, Mireille, you don't understand my life. I was 3 years old when I lost my parents. My life is so hard. I can't change who I am, you know? The thing is that these people, they blame their circumstances, or they have excuses to deal with the challenges that they're facing in life. Now, we have to understand as coaches, because we are serving others, that if there are 7 billion people on earth, there will be 7 billion challenges or even more, right? Everybody has to deal with that sickness, losing job, losing clients. So what I have learned in life so far is that 90% in life happens to you, and 10% in life is how you react to it, right? 90% in life we cannot influence. This is just life happening to us, right? But how you choose to react to what happens to you will determine your mindset and will determine your success in life. So will you let these challenges beat you, or will you take responsibility for your challenges? Now, people who take responsibility are above the line. They have a growth mindset. These people take responsibility, ownership, and they hold themselves accountable. So let me give you one example. There are two twin brothers raised by an alcoholic father. One twin brother became an alcoholic, and the other one became a successful businessman. And the twin brother who was an alcoholic was asked, "Why are you an alcoholic?" And what do you think his answer was? His answer was, "My dad is an alcoholic, so hey, listen, you know, nobody taught me anything, so I also became an alcoholic like my father." And when the same question was asked to the other twin brother who was successful, his answer was, "Well, my dad is an alcoholic. I can't change that. I can't change the way I was raised, but I know that I can do better. So it's not my father's fault. I am responsible for my life." And he took responsibility for his life, and he became successful. So now you see that two people in the same circumstances were brought up by the same parents, the same alcoholic father. One chose to have a fixed mindset, and the other chose to have a growth mindset. Now, for us coaches, it's exactly the same. When we have a difficult client and you get upset with a client, what is it that you can do? If you have a fixed mindset, you will dread going to the coaching sessions, because you're like, "I don't like this client. This client is always so difficult. This client gets angry and I don't know what to do anymore," right? So what happens if you have a fixed mindset as coach is that you're not really serving your client, because why? You're struggling with your clients. And that means that you don't go into depth in your coaching sessions anymore. And that means that you're not so effective in coaching, in the coaching relationship with your client and the coaching outcome. So that's why it's important to know what your mindset is, because your mindset will affect your coaching. And if you as coach have a fixed, a growth mindset, and you have a difficult a client, what is it that you can do? Santi, you can move along the slides. The next one. Yes, and now the next one, I feel that we're already here. Yeah, so if you have a growth mindset as a coach and you have a difficult client, what is it that you will do? You will probably, after the coaching session, you will listen to the recording, and you will see if you have missed any opportunity in your session. Or what you can do, you can go to a mentor coach, or you can go to coaching supervision to see how to improve your coaching. So coaches who have a growth mindset are coaches who are really open to learning about who they are, and they are not blaming their clients. They are just looking how to improve on their coaching. And when learning about, when you're, for example, a coach who you're going to coach supervision, what will happen when you're in supervision is you will get more insight about yourself. And these insights will help you grow as a person. I will give you an example. A coach came into coaching supervision with me and told me that he had problems with a certain client because his client reminded him of his father. His father was very unloving, demanding, and his father was a bully. And as a result of his father's behavior, the coach became very uncertain. So now he was dealing with this client who had the same behavior as his father. So in coaching supervision, I worked with him on this uncertainty, and I used the tool of unconditional love to work on his uncertainty. And as a result of growing in unconditional love, he became more confident and he grew in trust, and he had he was much more certain of who he was. And now he is better able to feel love for this client, and his coaching relationship with his client has improved. So it is very important as coaches, I will say it again, to have a growth mindset, because if you have a growth mindset, you will take responsibility to serve your client as best as you can. You will not blame the client for being difficult. No, you will find a solution to improve your coaching. So next slide, Santi. So how a growth mindset how can a growth mindset impact your coaching? By having a growth mindset, you don't complain about your client's behavior, but you take responsibility for the situation. You're using self-reflection as a tool to grow in your self-awareness. And that leads to higher self-awareness. And as a result, you now have a client-centered approach. You are developing yourself as coach in your coaching skills. You are serving your client because you put their needs above yours, and you have an open and flexible mindset. So when you have a growth mindset, you are actually serving your client with the highest regard. And to me, the highest regard is unconditional positive regard, is how Carl Rogers describes it. And having the highest regard for your client means that you embody a coaching mindset. Next slide, Santi. Oh no, this is, you have to go one before, I think that. Okay, otherwise, probably the slide is not there. Okay, hold on. So a coaching mindset is important. We know that as coaches, we need to master the ICF core coaching competencies, because mastering them bring us consistency in our coaching. And the ICF definition of embodies a coaching mindset is develops and maintains a mindset that is open, curious, flexible, and client-centered. So what I love about this competency is that it's really inviting coaches to take a more active role in their own mindset. Now you have seen that if you have a growth mindset as a coach, that you are actually embodying a coaching mindset, for the simple fact that you take responsibility for your coaching. You're not blaming your clients, you're not angry with your clients. No, you take responsibility. And as a result of the inner work that you do, this will lead to, and the inner work is done if you go to coaching supervision, or the inner work is done when you listen to your own recordings or you assess your own coaching sessions. This is what we call inner work, and that inner work that you do will reflect in higher self-awareness. And actually, that's the good news. The good news is that when we are positive as coaches, when we are willing to do the work, that we can now develop a flexible, open mindset, be client-centered, and serve our clients with the highest regard. Now, the next question is, besides, looking at your own or listening to your own coaching sessions, or assessing your own coaching sessions, or doing mentor coaching or supervision, how else, what other strategies are there to cultivate a coaching mindset? The first one is keep strife out of your life. And to me, this is very important because relationships are what really matter in life. Our relationship to God, our relationship to our spouse, our children, our extended family members, friends, and other within our community. And what does it mean, keep strife out of your life? I'm married, and usually I complain with my husband, or I used to do that, right? Like, you go to the bathroom and you don't take toilet paper and put it again. Why do I have to do it all the time, right? Or why do you put your shoes here? Or how do you fold the clothes like that, right? So we tend to complain. Everybody does that. We do it with our family members. The thing is, keep strife out of your life means accept others who they are. I have discovered that just because somebody is not exactly like me or doesn't do things the way I do them, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right and they're wrong. We're just different. It takes maturity to get along with somebody who's different than you. So don't get upset when your husband or wife doesn't make the beds every morning. Just do it yourself. And at times, just tell them like, my dear, I truly love you. And I just kindly want to ask you if at times you want to take into consideration to also make the bed. Just ask in a loving way and don't fight. And try to do this on a daily basis. Because if we are able to do that as coaches, we will grow in our relationship with ourselves. We will grow in patience. We will grow in love. We will grow in trust and in appreciation in all of our relationships. So it's up to us to keep strife out of our lives. Every time you have the choice to be right or to be nice, choose to be nice. Choose to be nice. The second strategy that we can also use is practice unconditional love on a daily basis. When you practice unconditional love and you feel how it feels to love yourself, and when I say love yourself, I mean love your whole self. Not just that part of yourself that you are proud of, but also the part of yourself that you are not proud of. And that's difficult, right? It's difficult to love our negative part that judges, that gets angry, that gossips, that is afraid, that is lazy, that procrastinates, right? But when you are able to also love that negative part of yourself, you will start to have a better understanding of yourself and you develop compassion. So let me share an experience of mine to show you how it works. For me, when I was in my coaching journey, in the beginning of my coaching journey, I had to start loving my flaws, my disappointments, my shame, anxiety, laziness, everything I just mentioned. And to my amazement, I discovered that by loving my negative parts, I started to open up to myself. And what does that mean? I saw that, you know, instead of being angry when I was driving the car and started yelling at somebody who was, you know, driving even harder and was cutting me off, I saw that maybe I should have left home 15 minutes earlier, you know, stop blaming. I saw that being angry at somebody else was just saying something about me, that I made the choice to become angry. At the same time, I could have chosen not to become angry. So this is how I started to love myself, and I started to accept that, okay, you know, let's stop this getting angry, because I tend to work quite a lot. I have my business, I travel around the world. And when somebody asks me something twice, I get irritated. And the third time when you ask me, I get frustrated. So now I understood that these are all choices that I had and I could choose. And if I start loving myself, I saw that I was much softer towards myself, and therefore also softer towards others, right? So love yourself on a daily basis. And the exercise that I do is I lay down in bed and I just open up myself. I let go of all the negativity out of my body. I start breathing slowly, and I let go of all the negativity in my body, all the anger that I had that day, all the frustration, and I just let it go. And when all the negativity is gone, I just open myself up to love, and I just let love enter in my heart. And then I start sending the love from my heart to my whole body. And just tell myself, there is no place in my body for anger. There is no place in my body for laziness. And let this laziness and the angry and the frustration and the irritation just leave the body, and send love to every cell in my body. I do this on a daily basis, and the more you practice this, the better you get at it. And it's just a 3 to 5 minute exercise that you can do on a daily basis, and feel how it feels to love yourself. Okay, the next thing that you can do is refrain yourself from judgment. Judgment is the constant process of assessing things as right or wrong. If you want to have a growth mindset or a coaching mindset, right, it's important to let go of judgment. And how did I do this? Is I just, every morning when I got up, I was very intentional about judgment, because I you know, in the beginning of coaching, I would sometimes leave a coaching session. I was aggravated with a client, you know, I was like, why are they so rude? Or why are they coming to the coaching session and not be prepared, you know? So there was a lot of judgment from my side. So I told myself that on a daily basis, for 1 hour, I will not judge today. And I did it on a daily basis. And by bringing this to your awareness, by focusing on not being judgmental for just 1 hour, I started recognizing when I was judgmental. And this helped me immensely in my coaching sessions, when it's even more important not to be judgmental towards our clients. And this is how I cultivated a growth mindset. So just give yourself the assignment on a daily basis. Today, I will not judge for 1 hour. And if 1 hour is too long, do it for 30 minutes, do it for 10 minutes. But you have to start somewhere, right? So whatever works for you. So the fourth strategy that worked for me is understanding that you always have a choice. Coaches, I have already mentioned this or not, I'm not sure, but we all have choice given by God or Allah or the universe or whatever it is that you believe in. In every split second, we make choices, what to do or what or not to do, how to behave, what clothes to put on. Every split second, we make choices. The thing is, you have the choice to determine if you want to have a fixed or a growth mindset. And of course, we all have things, you know, happening in our life that we can't influence. However, how we choose to deal with these challenges in our life will make us successful as coaches. And just like with unconditional love, I took 1 hour per day and I said, well, in this hour, I will take a look at my choices. I will see I will take a look without saying this is good or this is bad. Just look at them to understand my own thinking pattern. And then to make choices that benefit me and my clients most. So we have to be diligent to work at our mindset if we want to cultivate a positive mindset. And the power of choice is a force that shapes the narrative of our lives, right? So we have the capacity, we have the choice to make conscious decisions that are aligned with our values, aspiration, and so we can become the coaches that we aspire to be. So in every situation that you have, when working with clients and when things don't go your way, choose to be above the line and ask yourself, what is it that I can learn from this challenge about myself? What can I do differently to prevent this from happening next time? What is it that I need, you know, to seek for a solution when things don't go your way? Or what is the mindset that I need to have when I'm challenged? Be above the line and seek for a solution. You have the choice, right? Another strategy that I use to cultivate the coaching mindset is I meditate or I pray on a daily basis. Actually, what I do is I have a morning routine. I also have an evening routine, but for now, I guess that the morning routine is most important. And in my morning routine, I meditate and I pray. And I feel that meditation and prayer can help us coaches to manage our own emotions and reactions. This reduces, when we can manage our own emotions and reactions, it reduces the chance of responding to clients from a space of judgment or our biases, you know, and it allows us to be more neutral and objective. So in my morning routine, I meditate, I pray, both are beneficial to me. I also journal. I will talk about journaling later on. Because to me, this is important to keep my mindset positive. Meditation helps me with dealing with negative emotions, and prayer helps me to let go of these negative emotions and to take on positive thoughts that will better serve me, that will better serve my clients, and also, you know, my family, my life. So the sixth strategy is journal to better understand your thinking patterns. As I just shared, journaling is a part of my morning routine. I find it a highly effective tool to see why I think the way I do. I dissect my thoughts. You know, I see my thoughts as an onion, and by writing, I take down the layers of the onion, and I go deep down to the core. And at the core, I get a better understanding of why I think the way I do, or why I made the choices that I did, and now I can choose to take on new thoughts that better serve me. Coaches, there are more strategy. However, I chose those strategies that were most beneficial for me in my coaching journey and still are. And I chose to share these with you. There are other strategies like the use of affirmations, visualization. However, these are my tools, and this is, and in conclusion, I have to say my mindset has the highest priority in my life, because I feel that I can only meet my clients at the depth that I have met myself. The more I grow in self-awareness by self-reflection, the better I can recognize patterns within my clients. And having a growth mindset not only benefits my clients, it also benefits me in my personal life. And I would say in Spanish, you say, I would be a bit more agradable, right? So in conclusion, I hope that you understand the importance of a growing mindset. As coaches, we need to understand that it's our responsibility to cultivate a coaching mindset in order to serve our clients with unconditional positive regard and to build our coaching business. So get up every morning, have a positive mindset, stop feeding the negative thoughts, and replace them with positive thoughts that serves you. That was it for now. And I'm wondering, are there any questions?
Bueno, para los que hablen español, pueden poner preguntas en el chat. Voy a abrir una sesión de preguntas y respuestas. We'll get to know a little bit more of Mireille. I'm receiving now a couple of questions through my chat. Just 1 second, let me put you as a spotlight. 1 second.
You can shut down the... Yeah, okay.
Mireille, I'm very curious to know what got you into your coaching journey in the first place.
Oh, that's a funny story, right? Actually, I was working, and I had this boss, and he was not too happy with me. So I decided to leave that company, and I went to work at another company. And then after 3 years, this same boss, he became my new boss. And I was asking myself, God, what have I done to deserve this, right? So I was challenged in a way, but now after all those years, I can see that God was guiding me to my purpose. And this was a great job that I had, but I was totally not happy in this job. And so I started my own consultancy firm. And in consultancy, I was busy with strategy. But what I saw is that businesses have the best strategies in place, but the mindset of the people was 9 out of 10 times, the mindset of the people was not in place, because the directors, the CEO of the company, they want change, but the people usually are tired of the constant change in the business. So this is how I slowly moved away from consultancy to coaching. And I started with business coaching. I did in the US action coach and EMIT coaching. And then I went into leadership coaching, and I slowly dived deeper and deeper. And I currently more on the spiritual path of coaching. But actually, in a nutshell, this is how it actually how I developed my how I came into coaching.
That was beautiful. I love the idea of the growth mindset that you brought earlier in your conversation. this idea that there's an inherent capacity in every single one of us to learn, adapt, grow, heal. And I was wondering, what do you think was a specific area where there was a strong sense of a fixed mindset, and that it really took a lot of work to bring up into what dimension of your life, what specific situation?
So I had this client, and he was in coaching. He was always very negative, and sometimes he was very abusive, you know, because he didn't want to be in coaching. His director sent him to coaching, and he felt that he was good enough as a manager. He didn't want to be in coaching. So sometimes he would just yell at me, you know, and so the first time when he started yelling at me, I was like, oh, what is this, right? Why are you coming to coaching if you don't want to be in coaching? So it took me to understand that it was up to me how successful the coaching was. So I started studying the core coaching competencies. I started listening to the coaching sessions, and I really started to see, like, okay, here I should have asked this question. I started praying even harder, because when I went into the coaching session with him, really my heart was beating fast, because I was like, what's going to happen now, right? So it was me doing intense work on my own mindset and go deeper every time, because actually I feel that this client who was so abusive with me, he really molded me into the coach that I am right now. Because at that time I just had clients who loved being in coaching. So when you have a client who loves coaching, there is no work for a coach, but the work really comes when you have a client who comes to coaching, is not prepared, always late for coaching, you know. Then you have to really dig in to stay positive and to also serve the client with love, you know, to have love for this person. And this is that I really had to go deep into myself to not be aggravated by him, but to really have love for him, to serve him the way that I served all my other clients. And this was hard work for me, real hard. Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that aspect of unconditional love that you're bringing into a coaching mindset. Diana has a question. What is the role of your faith in coaching, in being a coach?
Wow. Yeah, for me, I feel that for me, it's very important, because I feel that if you understand the concept of unconditional love, and we are all coming from the same self, that you understand how important, for me, faith is important, to put it like that. I was brought up very faithful, but when I grew older, I did leave the faith, but now I'm very faithful. I probably don't go to church every week, but on a daily basis, I will meditate, I will pray, and I will meditate just to calm the mind down, and I will pray to ask God for guidance for when something, for example, something just happened with me, that I had a large possible client, and they asked me to share about how I coached, and then they stole the idea that I shared with them. So this really did hurt me, right? So, but I have to stay calm, and I have to feel love for everybody. So my faith is important for me to keep me on the path, to keep me on the right path of love, feeling love for everybody, because I am not better than the person who is cleaning the toilets. I'm the same, you know, I'm the same child for God. So my faith is very important to keep my mindset positive and to get me up on a daily basis, because I was very lazy, you know. So my faith really helps me to overcome my laziness, my procrastination, and to stay positive.
Beautiful. Love is the way. So we have in our community many people who are interested in getting to know about coaching, interested in pursuing a training and getting certified. And some people would wonder, like, Walter, if you have a specific, like, main challenges that you could share that people will face at the early stages of their coaching journey.
Yeah, well, I can share. For me, it was consistency. In the beginning of coaching, it's important to make sure that you have enough coaching sessions to build up your questioning and listening skills. So that's very important. What's also important is work on the mindset to cultivate the unconditional love. And because if you don't cultivate unconditional love, it's difficult to listen without judgment. So unconditional love, to cultivate this is very important. And otherwise you listen to in the beginning you will listen and you will think like, but why do you do that, and there is judgment in it. So cultivating the muscle of unconditional love, to work on your presence, to work on your listening skills and your questioning skills is very important. And be diligent in having at least 3 to 5 coaching sessions per week, just to become in the rhythm of coaching, because coaching is sort of, I feel that it's a rhythm you can learn. The deeper level of rhythm is the work, is the coaching mindset. For me, that's daily work. That in the morning I get up at 4 a.m. From 4 till 5 a.m. is my time. I pray, I meditate, I journal. In the daytime, I take 15 minutes out just to feel gratefulness. And in the evening, before going to bed, 30 minutes is also my time. I do some breathing exercises, and it's also my time to let go of all the negativity that I encounter during the day. So the mindset is something that's also important.
So beautiful. Para todos nuestros participantes, mil gracias por acompañarnos. Esta charla está siendo grabada y como siempre vamos a tener el link en nuestro canal de YouTube de ICF Colombia. Mireille, it was spectacular to have the chance to hear from your experience, to have a person like you have, a very authentic perspective about why does a coaching mindset matters, what is the growth mindset, why acting from a space of love can make such a difference, what role does faith plays in your life. And all of this is invaluable information to every single one of us that, as you say, we're just on continuous development and learning new perspectives, reinforcing new concepts, and old concepts too. So thank you so much. I was before, closing the session, is there anywhere we can point our listeners so that they can learn more about you and your services?
Yes, you can go to my website. You can share the information, or you want me to share it in the chat? And as of next year, I will be having also coach training for coaches. Currently, I only have coach training for managers, for leaders, for directors. But as of next year, we will have more services. You can also go to my LinkedIn, Mireille Berggraaf, on LinkedIn. So there are several ways that you can come in contact with me. And Santi, you can touch leadership development, .nl. You can share my information freely. I'm very open with that. And if somebody have questions, feel free to reach out. Yes.
Thank you, Mireille.
Thank you so much, Mireille.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was great to have you today in Colombia.
It was great to be hosting this event for you, and good luck. You're doing a great job.
Muchísimas gracias a todos los participantes. Ha sido un gusto compartir contigo, con ustedes la mañana de hoy. Nos vemos pronto. Gracias, Santiago, por estos invitados de lujo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Have it.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Gracias.